Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, April 24th. Welcome. It has been a hot minute. I know that. But we have survived tax season. At least that stress is over. But now the wedding is, Addison's wedding is in 2 weeks, May 7th. Um, so I feel kind of like we've only gotten rid of a little stress because the closer that gets, the more stress it creates. Enough that I am back on not getting shingles medicine. But as long as it keeps it at bay, we're all good. Let's see. As you can see, no tooth still. There was a mistake. I don't know if it was on the oral surgeon's end in ordering the tooth or on the company that molds the tooth's end, but there is still no tooth. I have an appointment on May 5th to get this tooth put in. They feel like that the company is going to have to be doing better than they have been with their schedule to get it. So I really won't know anything until then. I am beside myself. I was so upset that it wasn't there. Dax has been down there to be ugly to people because I was so upset, and I kept telling him, that it's not going to change anything. Don't do it. That he can't help himself. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Been moving along with the wedding plans, and I've still got more hearts to make. A couple of weeks ago, I soaked some of the wheat because you have to soak it to make it pliable so you can braid it. And I soaked some of the wheat, and I forgot about it. Dax and I went to do something, I don't remember, and I forgot that the wheat was in here soaking until the next morning. And then I was like, oh crap. And I poured the water out, and then was really busy, didn't have time until the next weekend. And I put water back on it, soaked it, and I started braiding some, and I'm like, why does this look weird? Y'all, it sprouted. It sprouted. I went and planted it. It's growing great. So I told Dax, look, I'm a wheat farmer. Who knew? So all kinds of, like, there's always something, right? Always something. But I did stitch, and it's been a long time, so I stitched a lot. This is a Mirabilia. I don't remember the name of it, and I don't want to dig everything out to find out his name, because I had to print this picture separately. I bought it as a kit. I'm getting in close because Shelly said that she can't make out the face. It's just very small amount of face there. It's mostly beard. But I don't want Shelly to struggle. And I am working up to the face, Shelly, but it's going to take a while because this time I worked on this part right here, and his face is, I don't know, up here somewhere. So it's going to be a little bit. I'm just saying. But y'all here with the rest of the crazy, more crazy. One day last week, I was carrying laundry and dropped a pair of underwear, and it's always the underwear. I'm telling you, they're evil. And I reached to pick it up, and I pulled a muscle in my back. Kirsten, who I now call young Dr. Burley, looked it up on the internet to see, based on where it is and how it hurt and everything. It's much better now unless I'm reaching for something. Because when I first did it, really it only hurt if I moved or breathed. But she says that apparently I pulled a rib muscle. had no idea there was even such a thing. Who knew you could pull a rib muscle? I'm telling you. And then I got ringworms on my stomach. I got out of the shower and I was like, what is that? And I was getting dressed and I thought, I must have just been leaning against something. And then a few minutes later, I was like, I was in the shower. I wasn't leaning against anything. So I went and asked Kirsten, I'm like, this is a ringworm, don't you think? And she's like, So it's been fun. It has been fun. Out of this, for the love of cross stitch, I didn't even look at the date, January 1993. I am working on this right here, this ho ho ho. But I'm not doing it on a sweater. I'm just doing it on a little tiny piece of Ada. This time, I only had a little bit of the H done last time. And so this time I finished the H and started on, that's like holly. And then the ball hangs down for the O. I think that's only the second time I've worked on this one, quite frankly. I worked on this Mill Hill buttons and beads. I am not doing mine on the perforated paper. I'm doing it on fabric. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous here. This time I worked on filling in more of this, which is down here. I don't know how many more of these I have to go, but I don't have very much more room. And I've measured it. I know my camera keeps dimming and brightening, and I'm sorry. I don't know how to turn it off, and it drives me nuts. But anyway, I have measured this over and over, and it says it will fit. But I'm scared because I don't want to do this. I guess I went through a thing for a while where I didn't measure anything right, because we all know it won't be the first one. Flashing you the pattern maybe? I don't know. I could have prepared for this a little better. There is no front to this magazine. Out of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, March, April, 1986. I am working on this one, Cats and Quilts. This is the Amish one. I love Amish quilts, y'all. I love quilts. All quilts. As a matter of fact, it's probably 4:30 or 5 right now. Dax and I have been out picking up, somebody's been online auctioning again. Online buying an auction, so we had to go pick up the carload of stuff I bought. He's like, how much stuff did you buy? I'm like, I don't know, but it was a lot. It was a lot. But in it were 2 quilts. I bought a Sunbonnet Sue quilt. I love Sunbonnet Sue. I think I paid like $10.50 for it. You can't beat that. And they're both quilts. I don't know what the name of the pattern for the other one is. Both quilts are vintage. I mean, if I had to guess, they were probably made in the 50s or 60s. And for the prices, I think the other one, I paid even less than that, like $6 or $7 for it. And that's just nuts for a quilt. Even if I were to turn around and use it as a cutter for making other stuff, you still can't find those very cheap. So I'm very proud of myself. I finished the handle this time and got started on the other block. I know I'm going to love this when it's done, but that's going to be a little piece down the road here. I worked on out of Portrait of a Cowboy. I'm doing this one, the Shootout. This one is on my list of 20. I don't know. It's possible. Maybe that I'll get it done this year. This time around, I filled in, I had a big chunk of the coat missing. I filled that in started on his jeans, and then down here is his boots, and that'll be the bottom. So I have to fill in, there's more coat to fill in here and everything. But like on the pattern, I've done to about right here on him. So I don't know, we'll have to see. That one's maybe-ish on my list of 20. Speaking of which, I'm going to do this before I forget again, because I forgot last time. Wyatt's stocking. Because it's not where I keep everything else, because I work on it every day. Dimensions Gold. If you're new here, I have a love-hate relationship with Dimensions. Also, if you're new here, I was going to have this done by Wyatt's second Christmas. He was not home for his first Christmas. He's still in the hospital. He's 23. So, but y'all, look at this. Seriously. It's going to put something behind it. I don't have anything that long. Well, I probably do, but anyway, would you look at that? Yeah. This one's getting finished this year. If I have to do harm to somebody, it's getting finished. So since the last time you saw it, I'm going to, I can tell you, dread the back stitch. But it's getting finished this year. Since the last time you saw it, I have come down here and done all of this on the house. We're down at the toe. We are down at the toe. So this is the part I'm working on right here. It goes a little bit farther down. My hoop stopped about right here. There's a little bit farther down that it goes. I got to get all this snow in. There isn't a ton left on the village over there. I've got part of the church and stuff in. That's the roof on it. And I've got a lot of the blue filler. You may or may not be able to see it. But really, this is the biggest part of what I have left to do is those reindeer. I don't even know how to act every time I look at it and compare and realize that I'm getting someplace. I'm actually making progress. It just thrills me to no end. So that's on my list of 20. That one is getting done if I have to say I'm not doing any other things. That one, yes. I worked on my mason jars. Again, dimensions. Love, hate. This is on my list of 20, and it will not be getting done this year unless a miracle happens. But this last time I worked on it, I got that jar mostly done. I just hit a groove, and it was going, and I am so thrilled. It took me like 3 years to get the other jar done. And it's not even really done. The page break is right here for the pattern, but this one actually already looks like a jar, and it hasn't even been the whole year. But I don't have any delusions of getting that done. I worked on Spooky Welcome. You know, I love my welcomes. And this time, let's get that out of the way. This time I put in the M and came over here and started on the E. This one again, I don't think it goes too much farther over, but it's going to be close to, I think. Maybe my ruler was broken for a whole year. It wasn't working. That's why I couldn't get this stuff done. Out of holiday lineups, I'm doing this, but I'm just doing the turkey and one haystack. Corn, hay, what is it? Is it corn? I don't know. But here we are. I think the pumpkin was done last time, so I did all of the, whatever that is working on over there. Corn stalks, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, corn stalks. So I worked on all of those. A couple of weeks ago, Addison talked Jacob into, they went and did goat yoga. So you go and you do yoga out in this fenced area, this yard with baby goats climbing all over you. I don't know how Jacob felt about it. She thought it was awesome and can't wait to go do it again. So she and Kirsten left this morning. They are in Houston just to have a girls' weekend. I guess it's not a weekend. A few days with Abigail, Kirsten, and Addison just hanging out together, which I think is awesome that siblings would care that much about each other just to do that. I worked on this little farm scene, and it is out of a magazine, and I don't remember which one. It is also on my list of 20. I have hopes that it can be done. I think since last time I put in all the blue and all of this green here. I think. But maybe not. I worked on my Happy Everything. I'm still very crushed that it doesn't say Very Tea anymore. But, oh well. Overall, I have Verything. This time I didn't have all that much time while I was out here. Sorry, try to get this folded better. I've got all the stitching in, so now I need to go back and get the outlining done. Yeah, from like the middle of the H over, it needs to be back stitched. So the next time it comes up, back stitching it will be. I don't remember if this is on my 20 or not, but I'm going to go with no, it won't be done this year. Of course. One of my new starts, because it's been so long, I think I have 4 to show you. It's the July from Snowflower Diaries Joyful World Stitch Along, which was from years ago. So obviously I did not stitch along, but because almost all of the others I'm stitching border, stitching border, stitching border, I decided to start this one in the middle. And I do have more fabric. I didn't cut it that close. But I decided it was time to stitch something a little more fun. Another new start was out of Texana, a cowboy collection. This is one that Sherry, and it was in a box of goodies that Sherry Smith sent me. I am finally, because when I get new things, I put them in my little basket of things to kit up and stitch in order so that I don't just always do the stuff I just got, because then it's so easy for other stuff to get left behind. Anyway, I'm finally getting to a point where some of that stuff is coming up. So anyway, like y'all care about all of that, I am doing this one. And I got a giant start. There we go. And that's because I started with the H. and came from the H and stitched the C, but messed something up, so had to tear the C out. And then I started over here and started on the R, but I had messed the H up because I had it 2 columns wide over here, and it was only supposed to be 1, so I had to tear out what I'd done there. And I did a lot of stitching that morning for not a whole lot to show for it. And I think this is the last new start. It is a Prairie Schooler. This may have also been part of my haul that you haven't seen. I don't remember or not. I kind of sort of did this one down here. Because I didn't follow their colors. I just pulled what close-ish, I guess. But I actually finished it. It's for Addison. She's always telling me that I never stitch anything for her, but I always do for everyone else. So, this one is for her, wedding sampler, and I'm going to cut, I'm going to make a little, I'm going to do a pillow, but I'm going to put stuff on it so that she can hang it. Oh my gosh, this is more trouble than it should be. I'm certain. Anyway, I'm going to back it with this from her wedding dress. That's going to be the back of the pillow. This is what they cut off the bottom of her wedding dress. So, she doesn't know unless she watches this. She doesn't watch all of them. So now I need to get that done too, because why not add more things that I need to get done? So, I had to start and to finish, y'all. And to finish. And if that's not enough, I worked on the Patriotic Bunny, and this is out of a duplicate stitch book, but the patterns are the same as cross stitch patterns. They're gridded the same way and everything. And y'all, I finished her. Look at that face. Those eyes kill me. She came up twice in, because I spin the wheel. And after I worked on her the first time, I was like, I can get her finished. Because the first time she came up, I got all the stitching in her face done and part of the bow. And I was like, I can finish her. So I did. I was like, I don't care if we're late to work. I'm getting her finished. So 2 finishes. I don't expect any more in April. But to be quite honest, I did not expect those 2. So I am thrilled beyond belief. This is out of the keepsake calendar from 2017. Paisley Pumpkins. And on mine, like, all of the filler in that pumpkin is stitched. And I will not be doing that because I want the modeling on the fabric to show through. But this time I got this much done on those. I want to get it finished. And that's one that Sherry Burkett, who needs to start making floss tubes again, let me borrow. I'm going to say that every time that Sherry needs to start making floss tubes again. A couple of weeks ago, because on Sunday, Dax and I go into town to the nature trail and walk. And Wyatt agreed to play in a charity tennis tournament with one of his students. Wyatt has never played tennis in his life. And Kirsten took tennis in school, so Kirsten and Abigail did. So he asked Kirsten to teach him. And so Dax and I had left to go walk. And when we got home, the Front door was locked. The back door was locked. They had gone to practice tennis. The front door was locked. The back door was locked. But the garage door was wide open, and the door from the garage to the house was unlocked. Ah, thank you for keeping the house safe. They're too much. I worked on my flower tree. I don't remember what season this one is, so I think it's something like it's summer, but I think it should be spring. So here we are. I know, right? Yesterday, I think I worked on this one yesterday. I was looking and I'm like, trying to see if I missed things. And I thought I was through with everything on this side of the tree, but I'm not. I have a whole spot right in here that I missed. Yeah, go me. Anyway, this time I worked up here. I got that butterfly done and some other stuff. Here, this is where we are. This one is on my list of 20. And every now and then I have flashes of hope that it will get done. You can see, well, except for the part that I missed, that's all, not full of thread right here. I have like this much really left. I don't know. I don't know. I told you that was my last new start. That's not true because I started this one this morning. It's called Autumn Pear So Fair by Homespun Elegance. Yes, sir. He's trying to think of something stupid to say. I can see it on his face.
I'm trying to think of something stupid not to say.
Do you need help?
No, that leather's way too wet, man. Still. All that indenting I did.
It just came back out.
You barely see it.
Addison has asked him to tool the leather wrap for her bouquet. And so he was trying to get the leather prepared last night because you got to get it wet and all of that stuff and let it sit overnight. But it's still too wet. He was afraid it might be drying out, and obviously not enough. Anyway, Autumn Pear So Fair. I got a big start. Yep. Just a little green down at the bottom, some of it. I'm missing several of the colors, which I don't even know how that's possible. Actually, it's because I kit up everything completely. I know I have them all here somewhere, but I'm not digging through everything else to find it. I was going to say, oh, it has a little pear charm right here. I have not bought that. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that one says it's stitched on 10 count. So I feel like it's going to be kind of small on this, which I'm sure is 14. It's just a scrap of something I had. So that was this week's new start. That is, oh no, it's not. I was going to say that's all my stitching, but it's not. See, if it's not sitting with everything else, I completely forget. I worked on my Animal Advent by Brooks Books. And I figure at this point, because it's on my list of 20, I have a plan to hopefully be able to finish by the end of the year. I think I need to stitch 1.5 little animals every month. And if it's all you do, and you have lots of time to stitch, that's probably not a big deal. Like I said, I get bored. I've got to switch up. So 1.5 is a lot of stitching for me on one thing. But here we are. So I am on number 15 since last time. I finished the cow. I think I had her started last time. So I finished her. So now I'm on to, I don't remember what that is. A raccoon. I think it's the raccoon and the cookies. So I got all of her done in April. So I need to get at least half of this one done this next week. This I usually work on Sundays, and I have not worked on them today. So maybe I can get some good progress. I don't know. We're already kind of late in the day. But at least on that one I have a plan. Yeah, because we know how well those work. So what else? I have been shopping, like I said, and not just in the auction that, seriously, y'all, we filled up the car. But, you know, I bought quilts, bought other stuff, lots of other stuff. What I do with the, oh, here it is. I was in Hobby Lobby, and they were having a clearance. If you watch Made by Michelle McGraw, you already saw some of it. But these were $1.50. This one is a beige plaid Murano. This one is a gray plaid. I got 2 of each of those. I did leave some stuff for other people. This one is white, and it's just got like these little pink dots kind of scattered on it. They're very light. That one's also $1.49. I only got one of those. I got a couple of these with the little flowers. I only have one now because Kirsten took one. And then I got 4 of, these are just 14 count Ada. The color is Toast. But they were 99 cents a piece. So, I had to buy them. I felt financially obligated. I mean, come on. If I set those there, things are going to fall. So I'm going to do that. And patterns. I can't help it. I bought, because I don't think I showed y'all the other, buying the Prairie Schooler. I bought that one. I bought this kit. I don't think I've shown y'all this one, but I liked it. And then, oh, I wish I could remember her name. She's got a store on eBay. I'll try to remember to look it up and link it down below. But I saw a pattern. I had set 2 patterns to watch, and one of them I missed on the bidding to bid. And so I had bought one, and I asked her if she would sell me the other one at the same price as the one I paid for, which was, I think, more than what the bid would have been at the time, and nobody had bid on it. And so she did, but then she kept emailing me. I've marked a bunch more down if you want to keep looking. I'm going to wait until Monday because this was like on Thursday or Friday. I'm going to wait until Monday to send out bills, invoices. If you want to keep looking, she's evil. That is evil. So I kept looking. Look at this. Oh my God. It's like a whole little, it says hot winter, but you know, we do an ugly sweater tree. And I thought, you know what? I mean, those are cute, but I can pick whatever I want and stitch the little sweater. So I had to have that. And look, how pretty are those? I thought that would be good for the kids for ornaments, right? Maybe this year, maybe not. I got sampled the Seasons book. And it has a whole bunch. Look at the cute little Halloween, little Easter. There's a fall one. And it has others. So I can find the pictures where they're not with the patterns. Here's a Christmas one. So I had to have that. And then look at these. This one is Whispered by the Wind. Winter homes. Summer. Spring. I didn't see the fall. This Valentine one. How cute is that? Rabbit on Wheels. I fancy that. Look at that rabbit. So I had to get all of those from her. So as far as Stitch from Stash goes, the only thing saving me is the 2 things I got finished. What else have I been up to? I made this. This is... Let's see if this helps. This is Jacob's boutonniere. Really, I guess it's going to go about like that. I got glue on there. I got to get it off. But the flower is from Addison's wedding dress. It's made from part of what they cut off at the bottom. So I got that made this morning. I had the flower made, and Dax was like, Kirsten said it looked good. Addison said it looked good, but Dax was like, So I started messing with the flower because Addison hadn't seen it yet. She hadn't gotten the picture that I sent to her. And I messed it all up. So I had to start all over. And my little fingers are sore from the hot glue that I dripped off of that and down my hand. Yeah. And then, because I got nothing but time, I crocheted a couple of little... It's me trying to use up stuff instead of just having it here. So I crocheted a couple of different washcloths. Because why not, right? I mean, the yarn was sitting there staring at me, and I didn't have anything else going on. I think it's part of procrastination. I think that's part of it. I think, and with my new starts, that I'm right now at 95 whips. I think that's the number. So I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I haven't gotten over 100, and I've started something new every week this year. That's not bad. That's not bad. And I've had 7 finishes so far, so no complaints. And I really like getting this stuff started because I don't feel bad that it's sitting there unstarted. I feel worse when things are sitting there unstarted. I feel like if I've at least started it, whether it's finished or not, it made it worth spending the money on it. Even though lots of them I didn't spend money on. So, like the things that Shelly sent me. I mean, Sherry Smith, the things that Sherry sent me in that box. What else has been going on? The other day on the way to work, there's some people across the street from us, across the road. They're down a little ways, but they have cattle that you only see at night because they come... Everything else is pretty open. The people just have trees along the fence line close to the road. There's some trees in there where you can't really see their land. And the cattle come sleep safe in the trees at night. And that's really the only time we see them, is if you're driving by at night and they're in there sleeping. Well, the other morning, some people on our side of the road, right across the street from those people, had some cattle on their land that haven't been there before. And they're not there now, so they just had them there for temporarily. But those cows were all standing at the fence, looking across the street, and the cows you never see were all standing at the fence, staring at the other cows. They were having a showdown. I told Dax as we drove by, I'm like, something's about to go down over here with those cows. It was so funny seeing them like that. Um, really, I guess that's been about it. Um, I can't think of anything else fun. I can think of other things. Wyatt had a stomach virus last week. Um, we set stuff in front of his bedroom door and knocked on the door because we didn't want him coming out touching anything. Oh my God, I was in the store one day. I guess it's probably been a couple of weeks ago now. And I was waiting for my order to be ready. And these other people were in line. And I don't know if the lady stunk. I don't know what was going on. But the lady behind her in line pulled out hand sanitizer and it's like, to the lady in front of her in line. She was spritzing her with hand sanitizer. It's like, oh my God. People will do anything. Anything, I swear. Okay, I think that's all I have for now. I have rearranged some things and had to dig through some things. We picked up Dax's. Dax had to buy a new jacket for the wedding. It's a country wedding, and the guys are wearing vests, and only Dax and Jacob are wearing jackets. So we went to buy a new one for him. The other navy blue jacket he's had forever. So we went into Austin to do it and paid him to park in a lot. And there's a sign out that tells you how much parking costs. And they have a 2-hour minimum. You've got to do all of it on your phone. And so I paid. It cost $20 for us to park. We were in the store for 45 minutes. So it cost us $20 to park for 45 minutes. And then a few days later, in the mail, I get a notice that I failed to pay for parking, and now they want me to send them $80. So I had screenshotted after I did everything, and they give you your pass. I screenshotted it. So I sent that to them, and they wrote me back and said I needed to send them something with, I emailed them and told them, here's my confirmation number. And they wrote me back and told me I needed to send them something. I needed to send a copy of my receipt. So luckily I had screenshotted it, so I sent that to them. And the next day they emailed me and said I needed to send a copy of my receipt. And I emailed them back and said, I've already done that. So then they emailed me and said that I needed to send them a copy of the receipt with the address on it, because the one I sent had the date, the time, my license plate number, but it didn't have the address of where I was parked, which it's the same vehicle that was in the picture during the date and time that they sent me my fine for. And so I got online with the company that's saying I didn't pay. I got online with them and printed out my receipt from them with the location. And I sent that to them. And then I got an email back saying that they denied what I was claiming, that I still owed them the money, but if I paid them within 5 days, I would only owe them $60, and they would not communicate with me further. So I looked at all the information they sent with the email, and what they sent with the email was for a car parked in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a different license plate number, the different street name, the different date, different time. So I wrote them back and I said, good, I hope you don't contact me anymore, because I'm not paying for their parking either. I paid for mine, I'm not paying for theirs. And all of this was going on during the for tax season, what really amounts to Hell Week. That's when all of this had to go on too. So it's been crazy, but we had to go back to the same place because Dax had to have the jacket altered So we had to go back to pick it up, and I told him, "We're not parking. I'll I'll circle the block. You know, you get out of the car, I'll move over, I'll circle the block, but we're not parking in that lot ever again." So that that's been the height of excitement in our life. Um, I'll try to be back next week. We'll see how things are going. Um, Dax has, I think he's going to enter the mistress into a car show next Saturday. It's just one here local. It's not any big deal, but um, some of the other people here in town who are car enthusiasts are trying to get him to do that. So I've still got more wreaths to braid. I've got to get the jars frosted. I think I finally figured it out and it's going to be able to work, but we've got to get that done. And if it doesn't quit being windy and acting like it's going to rain, I don't know when I'm going to get that done. But I think that really that's the bulk of what I need to get done, really, is getting these glasses frosted, the jars. And then I don't have anything to do until right before I had a panic attack the other day, because all along we've been thinking, okay, we're going to go and, I need to call and book the hotel room and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized we can't be gone. Both of our dogs are too old to even be able to get up in the car to take them to the kennel, and they wouldn't handle it well, either one of them. Cuddles is getting deaf, and Rascal cannot handle change of any kind. So really kenneling on them is not an option because it's not an emergency. So Dax and I are going to have to drive over there to the rehearsal dinner. Luckily, the place is like an hour and a half away. But we'll have to drive over there to do the rehearsal dinner and all of that stuff, and then we'll have to come back home and then drive over again the next day for the wedding and once again come back home. But it's doable. But I freaked out because it's like, oh my God, and that really is going to make it better, because Addison wants me to make, in addition to her wedding cake, which I'm not making, she wants me to make cobblers in 3 different flavors, and in the little tiny mason jars, the ones that are like this big. So I have a box of them. I think I need to get another one, but it's going to be easier for me to do the cobblers if we have to come back home. So I do have other stuff, but some of it has to absolutely be done at the last minute. I have given up for the most part. I'm not super strict. I'm just trying to do my best. I have given up mostly carbs, because I bought the dress that I'm wearing in the wedding online, and it fits. It fit when it came in, but I have lost enough weight to now be able to comfortably zip it. I've got a couple more weeks, so I may be able to actually lift my arms comfortably by then too. So always so much, and I like boring. I prefer boring, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, I rambled on long enough. This is like, I'm pretty sure, a record for me of how long a floss tube has gone on. I hope y'all have a wonderful week ahead. I will try to be back next week. I know I will not be back the week of the wedding. So if I don't make it back next week, then that's easily 3 weeks. So I'm going to try hard to be back next week. With that said, thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. I read them all. And I respond to y'all out loud. I do. I answer you out loud. I should figure out how to make my phone type it in and send it and post it when I'm answering you out loud. I do appreciate the comments, and I will try to actually remember when I get to the office. For whatever reason, when I comment on stuff on my phone, 90% of the time it won't show up. And it's not just YouTube, it's with other apps too. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've probably got something turned off somewhere that shouldn't be, but I will try to remember when I get to the office to respond to you if I have not already. Thank you for your likes. Welcome to the new people, and if you've stuck around this long, all of you, I appreciate you more than you know. Y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see you here next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.